Okay, so I'm going to give you my key takeaways from the book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is such an excellent book if you really want to change your life and, you know, break a lot of bad habits that can be bringing you down. That could be bringing down your health. You might not be saving money. You may not be progressing with whatever it is that you want in life. And habits are an essential foundation in anybody's life. If you want to build something good and you want a life that you're happy with, because essentially if you've got bad habits, it leads you down, a road that maybe you don't want. If you have good habits, obviously it leads you directly to what you want if you are deliberate with your habits. So in the book, it discusses how a habit works. So I'll give you a quick example of how it does. So they function with, first the trigger, then there's the cue, the action, and then the reward. So how this works is, I'll use food, for example. So say you might be feeling a bit hungry. So that's a bit of a trigger. And as you're driving around or you're walking around, you can smell McDonald's in the air. And so the action is to go and get some easy food. So you go through the Macca's drive-through, you stock up on your Happy Meal, and then the reward is basically eating the food and feeling the taste of a McDonald's burger and feeling like your stomach is full. So that would be a bad habit if you're trying to eat well. Essentially, you are triggered by an easy feed, a quick feed that you don't have to wait for, and you act it out and you eat. And that's how habits are formed. Now, if you were to interfere with that food loop, you have to be more disciplined and you have to be more aware of this. And this is what the book talks about. It's being aware of your own habit loops and how you function with it. So if you wanted to interfere with that and, stop yourself from eating the junk food, you'd recognize, the feeling of hunger when you've been triggered. You'd recognize the cue and, smelling some food in the air. And it's simply planning ahead and saying, okay, no, I've already made myself a salad wrap. So then the action is to reach for a salad wrap that you've already made yourself. And then the reward is the same feeling. It's eating food and feeling like your belly is full. And when you take this thinking to everything that you do, whether it's trying to quit smoking, whether it's, trying to cut off some soft drinks, you can replace these actions exactly the same. If you want to go off soft drink, replace it with cordial. If you want to stop procrastinating, instead of switching on YouTube, maybe you should have a block on your phone or a different action where you go and you do something else that's a little bit more productive and might spark your energy. When you start to use your imagination and you start to do a bit of research, you can realize what you need to do to change in your life to actually get yourself to move forward and create a good habit. There's a cool thing that they did, and they discuss it in the book with getting up early and exercising. So essentially they got the participants to set out their exercise gear at the end of the bed, ready to go. So then when they wake up, they don't have to think about, searching for their exercise gear. So that was good to go. And the second thing that they did was when the participants would go do the exercise, they'd let them have a block of chocolate at the end. So what that was, it was the reward. So when the alarm goes off, that's the cue and the trigger that the action is to get on the exercise gear and go and do the exercise. And the reward became the piece of chocolate at the end of the exercise, as if to say, yeah, well done. This is what you've been working for. And what they found that this was a good way to get participants to get up early, to get into the habit of exercising. And over time, the participants actually felt better in themselves by doing the exercise. They actually ended up dropping off the block of chocolate. And it just shows the power of focusing on one habit and how it can change your mindset in life. So because they got so good at exercising and they developed that strong habit, the bad habit of eating the chocolate, which, it was a bit of a way to start off and get them eased into exercising. They were able to, once they got confident and it was a habit to exercise and just go do it, they were able to drop the food. And that's the power of habits. So essentially, this is how our lives work. We are in autopilot and we're automatically doing whatever it is every single day. So if you want to change your life, change your habits. And an effective way to do it, if you find you might start on something and then it's easy for you to stop or get lazy with it, a good way to do it is track every day. So if you've exercised every day, if you tracked your food journal every day, Whatever it is you're doing, like saving money, spending money, track what you're doing, and then you can figure out whereabouts you're going to fall over. You might find out, oh, you fall over on the 6th day. Every time it goes to the weekend or something, or it's a Sunday, you might find, oh, you get a little bit lazy. And when you can identify that, you can plan ahead and, plan a little bit more to make it more motivational for you to push through on that Sunday and break your pattern, because that's how we live. We live in patterns and we live in habits. And when you can understand where or how you function, where you fall over and where you lose motivation, you can interfere, break your patterns, break your habits, and move yourself forward to the bigger goal of what you want to achieve. So I highly recommend this book of The Power of Habit. And I challenge you today to identify a habit that could be bringing you unstuck, that, may not be helping you get to what it is that you want to get to. And once you identify it, figure out a way on how you can interfere with that habit to make it exactly what you want.